Hey, my name is John Clark. I'm a licensed therapist and the owner of CalmAgainCounseling.com. If you're looking for online therapy, get started today at CalmAgainCounseling.com. In this video, we're talking about online therapy. Is it effective? What to expect? What's it like to do online therapy? What do therapists think about online therapy? Etc. Let's dive in. Okay, so first of all, what I want to say is that just a number of years ago, most therapists were not doing online therapy. Most of us were seeing our clients just in person, maybe with the occasional session online, but in general, we didn't prefer it. There's a reason why. The way we're trained is that we really need to kind of tune into you and how you're doing and what you're feeling in the moment, okay? So by doing that, in order to do that, we really need to kind of see how you're doing in the moment. We need to be able to sense the kind of energy shifting in the moment, and we need to basically be able to use what we call immediacies. So an immediacy is when, let's say if a client is describing something that seems pretty benign, like they're talking about a friend at work, but then their eyes start to well up. Well, then I might use an immediacy in that moment and say, hey, you're talking about that friend at work, but your eyes are kind of welling up. Can I ask what's going on, or what's going on inside? Doing stuff like that becomes a lot harder to do when you're just doing online therapy. So especially when you have a poor internet connection, it's really hard to read someone's face in the moment. At the same time, as our internet connections get collectively better, as the softwares that we use to do video sessions get better, we're getting more of that information we need in the moment, and as such, we're able to be more effective and use more effective immediacies in a counseling session. Now, the benefit of online therapy is, of course, that you can do it from anywhere, and your choice of therapist becomes suddenly very, very wide. Now, for most therapists, we are limited to the state that we're licensed in. So I'm licensed in North Carolina and in California. So I can see a client if they're in San Francisco. I can also see them if they're in Los Angeles because I'm licensed in this state. At least that's how things work right now as I'm recording this video. It gives you the chance to find that therapist who's really a perfect fit for you. And again, of course, the convenience is you can kind of do it from anywhere within reason. Now, when you're doing therapy online, if you're seeing your therapist online, you want to make sure that you obviously have a nice quiet environment, that you're not going to be worried about being overheard by someone, whether it's a partner or your kids or someone like that, or if you're at work, that you're not in a conference room where other people can hear you or walk by and see you, etc. It's still really important that you can really kind of go deep. You can feel whatever you're feeling, you can be vulnerable in session, and you can really get the most out of your time with your therapist. Ultimately, there's been a lot of research in the past few years that have proven, thankfully, that yes, online therapy actually can be as effective as in-person therapy. There's a big caveat to this that I want to point out that those research studies don't necessarily talk about. It's the fact that what's more important than online versus in-person therapy is the therapist themselves, okay? There are hundreds and hundreds of different types of therapy out there. CBT, psychodynamics, psychoanalytics, mindfulness, gestalt therapy, all sorts of different therapies. And so generalizing therapists is just never a good idea, okay? So again, what's most important, and there's actually a lot of research that supports this, that the number one predictor of therapeutic outcome is the relationship between therapist and client. In other words, how comfortable do you feel with your therapist? This is absolutely essential to getting good outcomes in therapy. So if you can find a therapist that's really good at what they do, they kind of seem like a born to do this therapist, that's the kind of person that I would want to work with as my therapist. If you feel comfortable with them, if you feel like your sessions online are working well, you're able to understand each other well, you both have a good, strong internet connection and a good kind of emotional connection, then working with that therapist is probably going to be a good thing. All right, so again, some of the downsides of online therapy, I think, don't really outweigh the benefits of therapy, like the convenience, being able to do it when you're on the go, or let's say you're traveling or whatever it might be. And again, widening your pool of therapists to choose from, I think, is a major benefit as well. So it can take some getting used to really learn what it's like to do online therapy and to get used to how you need to kind of organize your environment to have an effective session. But once you do, I think you'll find that online therapy is definitely effective. It's going to be a big part of the way we do therapy in the future. So I think now is the time to really embrace it and enjoy all the many benefits of online therapy. If you want to get started with an online therapist, all you have to do is head to calmagaincounseling.com. We'll put a link in the description. Again, it's just calmagaincounseling.com. My name is John Clark. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.